Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic. Diner stops and real talk. The voice of farmers, not politicians or promise makers. Just honest conversation about agriculture's biggest issues. At the table today. This is The Farmer's Table, an original series from Pivot Bio.
Hi, I'm Andrew McCrae, host of American Countryside and a farmer from Northwest Missouri. As we help connect farmers through conversation, there's one meeting place that has long been a source of truth in rural America, the local diner. The Farmer's Table is bringing those conversations to life. Real farmers discussing real topics. Today, we're talking about the technology divide, the generational gap you can find on many farms. We have two father and son duos who took their seat at the table. Joining us are Ted and Caleb Hamer of Hudson, Iowa, and Matt and Layne Miles from McGee, Arkansas. These are two very different operations with one thing in common. Their opinions on technology differ by age.
So we do have some disagreements sometimes. You know, I'm always pushing for the older guy because he knows a lot more. You know, and he grew up in a little different situation, so it's most of the time he's not as expensive.
Yeah, he may not be as expensive, but that younger guy's going to be there with me a lot more.
I don't disagree. I do disagree, but you know, I've got to start stepping back some and letting you make some of the decisions, and that's one of the things. That's one place we disagree some, but we end up in the end compromising. You just got to keep an open mind when you're dealing with these young guys that really don't know what they're doing.
I just want him to train the new guy to pick up tools and have his tractor clean and, you know, the pickup clean. Because there is, that would be, but I don't know if he can do it because he doesn't do it.
I know where my stuff is.
No, you never know where
I know where my stuff is.
You do not.
Right where I left it.
But it's not there.
Do you keep lists? Like in the morning or to-do lists?
No. It's in my head.
Well, I do, but I cannot get him to do that. And
it's in my head too, sometimes.
Well, it's not in your head as good as it needs to be in your head.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm like, you didn't put that on the list? No, I forgot. Get it on the dang list. Then if you got a list, keep it in your truck. You can't mess up. So our wives work full-time in the office. And I love for the internet to go out. Because nobody can work in the office but me with my pencil and paper. And I give them crap. They'll be in there like, well, we can't do this. You want my notebook? We can work off my notebook, you know. So that's a big joke in our office, and you know they're so dependent, and that's a good thing because there's so much technology now. They can blow by me. They can do more in a day's time than they forget more in a day's time than I can do when it comes to the computers and stuff. But I love it when the internet goes out.
Yeah, but I mean, the good thing is the internet goes out. It's a day off, ain't it?
Not for me.
You know, and
golf course will be open.
Yeah,
you know, right. Scott and Caleb are trying to, you know, they're trying to push stuff through the phone to me and things like that. I'm not illiterate at all when it comes to the phone, but it just like it's something new, and then I can never get it to store or send back the way they want it. And
then they get mad.
Well, yeah, and like yesterday, I was supposed to sign some document, and I said, well, gee, I don't have any way to print it, sign it, scan it, and send it back. And
DocuSign.
He said, send it to me, and then he put it in PDF, and I took my finger, like, okay, I don't know how you did it. I'm glad you did it, but.
Yeah.
And then they get aggravated when you don't do it right. So I just hand him whatever it is, I hand it to him and say fix it.
You got a flip phone still?
When the Farmer's Table returns, how technology could be key to filling labor gaps on the farm. We'll be right back.
Farmers have always taken care of what they value. They cultivated bountiful land and fed a nation hungry for progress. As Americans dialed up, precision on the farm led to yields once thought impossible. But when it came to nitrogen, it wasn't precise or predictable enough. Farmers deserve a nitrogen worthy of who they are and what their land can provide. And now there is one.
Labor is one of the biggest pain points for farmers. Not only where to find reliable help, but how to keep it. And as technology on the farm continues to propel farms into the future, autonomy may just be one answer to the labor woes facing farmers today. As the conversation continues, Matt shares his thoughts on why he's not completely sold on it yet.
I don't want that tractor texting me when when the driver gets off of it. You know, I've got enough Texas coming in anyway, and now I'm like looking for it. Okay, Layne, this guy's not in the field, the tractor's not running, we're getting a code over here where he's riding a clutch, and just so many things have been like, it's proved me wrong.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I know autonomy's coming, there's no question.
It's coming.
And I think it's a cool thing. It's gonna be a little harder in our area, you know, because of the woods and drainage ditches, and I guess that's everywhere, smaller fields, but we wanna look at it. I mean now.
it would shine most in big field.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I question if it's capable of certain pieces with weird field boundaries and trees and building sites.
Well, our guy told us the other day with the equipment dealer we use, he said, we're going to struggle with it because we're 3-point hitch. So our planters, we pull nothing because for irrigation, we're raised bed. And he said, that's going to be the problem. He said, we'll be able to disc, field cultivate, you know, do some tillage work with them. But he said it's going to be a while before we can do the 3-point hitch deal, lift the planter on the end, turn, get back lined up. And
Yeah.
so we've got some challenges with that, you know, that are probably going to procrastinate when we get to use it.
But a lot of times that, you know, something's built, it's built for y'all. It's built for the Midwest 90% of the time. And so it'll happen there, and then they'll perfect it there, and it starts working its way south.
It'll start in the I-states and work its way out.
That's right. Which, I mean, you can't blame them. There's way more farm ground there than it is, you know, where we're at. I mean, half Arkansas or more is pine trees.
And just like we're talking about labor, you know, y'all run your equipment most of the time. You know, so all the bells and whistles you utilize. Mm-hmm. We've got H2A workers on $250,000 tractors that barely sometimes can communicate with English language, so they're definitely not going to use, you know, the extra things that are kind of cool. So,
kind of going on autonomy. You know, I hope it does one day. It comes our way. I think, you know, like I said, it's going to be tough to get going. But I mean, if it does get here and if it works the way it's supposed to work, we don't have to monitor it all the time. I mean, maybe it does give us a little time. I mean, we do work a lot of hours, daylight, dark. You know, a lot of times you go home and you leave home, your kids are asleep. You go home, your kids are asleep, and maybe one day it won't be that way.
I mean, to me, like, given time at home, but even if we could get some autonomy in like the pesticide application world, just to physically remove ourselves from being in the direct vicinity of the product the whole time, we're never going to not use pesticides.
Right.
It's just the amount of food we have to grow. It will be part of the food process in America forever. But if it could get us
safer
out of the field while it's being applied, I would feel better about it.
Yeah.
And if that allows me to be physically at the farm less often, that'd be fine too.
Yeah. But it's
there's
hard
a lot
not
of
to
technology
be.
that needs to be derived around how to make sure that it's all functioning right.
It's hard. It'll be hard to be sending a tractor with nobody on it, with a piece of equipment behind it, and at least not be sitting on the turn road watching it, make sure.
Saying you at a baseball game.
Yeah, and you get a text that says, "Okay, you're broke down," and I'm sitting at a baseball game and time to go.
But you're probably gonna have one of them things on like they play games now.
Virtual reality.
The left side's gonna be the tractor, and the right side you can see your kid playing baseball.
Yeah, maybe so. But that's like you said, you never want to say never, but it's hard to see that just being able to leave it and let it rock and roll.
So it appears technology and overcoming the labor crunch in rural America may be two topics where farm families will continue to agree to disagree. We want to thank Layne, Matt, Caleb, and Ted for sharing their unique viewpoints on both topics, perspectives that hit close to home for farmers just like me. We'll see you next time on The Farmer's Table.